This is just a little story that's probably not worth telling, but a couple of friends got a kick out of it. I let my dog out at midnight one night, left the door ajar for him to come back in, then went about making some soup and something to drink. After a couple of minutes, I hear his distinctive 2 long toenails trotting back in on the wood flooring. I lock up the door and return to my meal. I then hear my dog barking from outside. Any dog owner knows that there's no mistaking those toenails, so I was a little shocked that he was somehow back outside. So what had come in? It didn't really spook me. I woke up one morning to my dad going to the kitchen and stopping by to say, "Hey, wake up." And then I took out my phone and started watching YouTube. I was awake for sure. Later, my mom was walking to the kitchen and did the same thing my dad did. Then I get out of my bed, and I see that my parents were still in their room. I asked them if they asked me to wake up while walking to the kitchen, and they said no. I don't know what it was. Can somebody please explain? My wife said she saw me standing in the kitchen doing something while I was actually at work at the time. She initially thought I had come home from work and was worried, and then the figure of me apparently vanished, which was naturally even more upsetting. No other occurrences before or since then. I was living at my sister's house in college. My room was in the basement, and the bathroom was on the 2nd floor. One morning, she saw me in the hallway mirror behind her walking towards the bathroom in the same clothes I was wearing. She said good morning, but I didn't even look like I noticed. I then came upstairs about 5 minutes later, and she seemed puzzled, thinking I was already upstairs. Freaked her out. We had problems with doppelgangers at a fast food joint that I worked at. I had 2 separate sightings myself. My general manager comes by to tell me in drive-thru, and the register person to clean the lobby, then goes to the restroom. So the register person and I come up with a plan and wait for her to come out. We see her walk out of the restroom, walk by us, and walk into the lobby. We go to catch her, and no one's there. We turn around, and she is walking out of the bathroom. We tell her what we saw, but she didn't believe us. Manager and I are in the prep area. One of the girls who is working up front walks back and right into the walk-in cooler. After about 5 minutes of waiting, the manager asks me to go check on her. I open the walk-in door. There is no one in there. As I am trying to explain this to my manager, the girl in question walks into the prep area from the front. Needless to say, the manager believed me, and finally believed what had happened in the first sighting. The first one was my husband. I turned into the hallway and saw him there, walking away from me and towards the bedroom at the opposite end. I called to him, but he didn't respond. As soon as he entered the bedroom, he turned to the left. There's just a wall there, not even any windows. I followed him into the bedroom, but there was no one there. My husband had been upstairs the entire time. The second time was my dad. He was unloading some things from his truck and was going to bring them to the back door, which opens into the kitchen. I was in the kitchen and heard a noise at the door. Through the window in the door, I saw my dad bending over, as though he was bending down to untie his shoes. I ran to the door and opened it, but there was no one there. My dad was still in his truck. Both times it's been a family member. Both times I haven't seen their faces. Neither event felt wrong in any way or sinister. The movements that the figures made were exactly the movements my dad or husband would have made. When I was in middle school, I was at a friend's apartment she lived in with her mom. Her mom was cool and let us party there, and she was always at work for long late hours. There was a group of us there, maybe 6 people or so. Everyone was in the living room, except for this couple who were in the mom's bedroom with the door closed and lights off. We had all gotten pretty baked. I had just made myself a snack and was walking to my friend's bedroom, which was right past the mom's room where the couple was. As I walked past the mom's bedroom door, out of the corner of my eye, I saw the door opening from the inside and a partial facehead that looked identical to my friend's mom who was not at home. I didn't think anything of it, since there were so many people in the small apartment, and kept walking and sat in my friend's room. A minute later, the girl who had been screwing around in that bedroom came out and yelled at me, and asked me why I had kicked the door open. I told her I saw someone come out of there, and she was adamant that I had walked by and kicked the door open. The more I thought about it, the weirder it was. I thought she was messing with me at first, but the person I saw didn't look like anyone that was there at the time. It looked so much like the mom. If it were her, it would have meant that she had somehow snuck back into the apartment after being gone for hours, hidden in her room in the dark for over an hour, while this couple was messing around in her bed. And then she would have to have discreetly left the bedroom and passed the living room full of people to get to the front door. This happened when I was 8 years old. I saw my dad in the bathroom wiping himself after a shower, but the problem is that he was supposed to be in office at that time. So I asked him, "Dad, when did you come home?" He didn't say anything. I asked again, and he closed the bathroom door on my face. I went from that room and didn't think much of it. 20 minutes later, Mom gave me and my little bro lunch. So we 3 people, Mom, me, my little bro, sat to eat lunch. I asked Mom, why aren't we waiting for Dad? She laughed and said, why would we? He's gonna come at night. I told her, but Dad is home. Then explained to her. We searched the entire house, but couldn't find him. Creepy, right? After eating, me and my little bro fell asleep. Mom stayed awake to watch TV. I woke to Mom's scream. I rushed to look for her. Found her before that bathroom door. She hugged me and couldn't talk. I looked at the bathroom. It was empty. Asked Mom what happened. She said she saw Dad. Dad was there. But why would he appear out of nowhere? She asked him when did he come and said she saw that thing that looked like Dad made a horribly creepy face. So she screamed. And in no time I was there. And that thing disappeared. Later, Dad came at night and told him everything. I don't remember what we did after that, but we moved out. My earliest encounter occurred around 3 or 4 years ago. I had decided to stay with my aunt. Her house was big, with 3 baths and various rooms. I was on the 2nd floor alone when everything happened. So, I was working on a video when my youthful step-aunt appeared. I followed her into her room, excited to show her what I had done with my phone. My younger cousin was also in her arms. Both of them were female. She wasn't in the room when I walked in. I turned behind the door, thinking she was playing a joke on me. Nobody was present. I dashed downstairs to find her, but she claimed she had not gone upstairs. It was a scary experience, so I stayed downstairs. I had my following incident around 2-3 years ago. I'm upstairs in a house by myself once more. My family's home wasn't substantial. My elder sister then arrived, bearing our little sister. I was probably too lazy to fetch something, so I called her from across the room. Before exiting the room, she walked up to the mirror and remained there still, without responding to me. I followed her out of the room as she went at a slow pace. She was nowhere to be found. I dashed downstairs once again, where my elder sister was showering. My younger sister was downstairs too, playing with her toys. I was creeped out once more and stayed downstairs. My husband saw my doppelganger in our hallway last night. We live in an old farmhouse, and we have had many paranormal and unexplained spirits, noises, etc. We have had paranormal investigators to our house, and we are waiting on the report. Last night, I was in the bathtub. My husband came in the bathroom to wash his hands and went back out to do laundry. He was in the laundry room and looked through the kitchen and saw what he thought was me in the hallway, buck naked. He called my name, and he said she turned her face toward him and gave a look like she didn't know who he was. Then she walked a step behind a column, and our son came out from the same column from the opposite way. Our son asked who my husband was talking to and said that he didn't see me. My husband came into the bathroom where I was still in the tub. He made me swear that I hadn't left the tub. He was very freaked out, and he made us follow him from room to room the rest of the night and announce ourselves if we came into a room where he was. He had spoken to a medium a few months ago. She is coming Saturday to bless us in our home. She said she would try to see what spirits are there and try to release them. She also told me before to place black salt around our doorways and the four corners of our home.